Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In my last part we learnt about cell, history of cell and discovery of cell. In this part we learnt about cell, shape and size. Different organisms have cells of different kind. यानी अलग अलग organisms के पास अलग अलग cells होते हैं. Cells show variation in terms of their shape and sizes. The shape and size of cells are related to the specific functions performed by organisms and not on the size of organism. So basically this means that shape of size of cell are not related to the size of organism, which means if the cell of elephant, the elephant is very big and the ant is very small, so it may be happen that cell of an ant will be equal to cell of an elephant, because size of cell depends upon the specific functions performed by organism. Cell shape. Cells show great variation in their shapes, such as spherical shape, spherical shapes like eggs of many animals, spindle shaped smooth muscle fiber, elongated cells, nerve cells. As you can see here, this is the image of elongated cell. This is a nerve cell. Oval shaped cell, red blood corpuscles, branched cell, osteocytes. Osteocytes are basically bone cells, and so on. Some cells may not have definite shape and they have changing shapes. For example, amoeba and white blood cells, which some cells do not have definite shape. They change their shape at regular intervals. For example, amoeba cell changes its shape every time to perform various functions, and WBC also. The shape of a cell helps in its functioning. For example, a nerve cell is very long and has wire-like projections coming out of it. These projections help the nerve cell carry messages and send them. So as I told you before, cells are not basically depend on the size but on the function. So this nerve cell is very long because of these projections. These projections help in carrying messages. Muscle cells expand and contract. Their long thin shape helps them do this. So muscle cells are very long type of cells because our muscles are, for example, in arms and legs, they can shrink and contract also. As if I pull my hand upwards, the muscles will contract, and if I will stretch my hand, so the muscles will expand. Their long thin shape helps them do this, that I told you. All the cell components are enclosed in a membrane which provides shape to every plant and animal cell. अब जो all cell components होते हैं, which means parts of cell they are enclosed in a membrane which is known as cell membrane or plasma membrane. Cell size. The cell and their organelles are measured by fractions of millimeter. 1,000 of a millimeter is called micron or micrometer. This is the symbol of micron or micrometer. This is pronounced as mu. Not you, but mu. 1 micron or micrometer is equal to 10 minus 3 power millimeters, as 1000 of a millimeter is 10 minus 3 millimeter in exponent and power. Let's get forward. Most of the cells are microscopic in size and are not visible by naked eyes. They need to be enlarged or magnified by microscope to be seen. As we learned before, in different types of microscope and staining, cells are colorless and are microscopic unit. The size of cell varies from the very small cells of bacteria. So the very small cells of bacteria, which are 0.1 to 0.5 mu, to the very large eggs of ostrich, which is 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter. These are the smallest and largest cells of world. But in our human body, red blood cells are the smallest, which is 7 mu, and the nerve cell, which is elongated cell, is about 100 centimeter. The algae acetabularia unicellular, it's a unicellular organism, consists of a single cell, as it's a unicellular organism, which means it has a single cell only, having a length of 10 centimeters. So the cell is long 10 centimeter. If the cell is long, it doesn't mean that it can be seen by naked eyes. It is as small as the other cells but is long. The size of cells has no relation with the body size of organism. As we learnt in the introduction, that size of cells are not dependent on the size of organism. It depends on specific function performed by cell. The cells of a very big animal is not bigger than the cell of a small animal, like elephant. The size of cell is related to its function. Okay? For example, the nerve cells of both Rat and elephant are long and branched, which perform the same functions of transmitting messages, which doesn't mean that the elongated cell of elephant is very long and big than the elongated cell of rat. Cells are of same size, they depend on the functions. Now let's learn about parts of cell. A typical cell consists of three parts. So we are now learning about cell organelles or cell component. Okay? The first three parts of cell are main important. Cell membrane, which is the outer boundary, cytoplasm, which is the fluid, and nucleus, which is the brain. Let's learn about cell membrane or plasma membrane in deep. Every cell is bound by a thin delicate membrane called cell membrane or plasma membrane. Functions of plasma membrane are: plasma membrane is porous and allows the entry and exit of only selected substances, which means that plasma membrane does not allow infected bacteria or infection or viruses into the cell. They only allows the entry and exit of substances like food, which is necessary for mitochondria to generate power. It also prevents the movement of some other substances across it, which is the same. Thus, it only allows entry and exit of selected substances. It is known as selectively permeable membrane. It provides an outer boundary to the cell and separates cell from each other and also from the surrounding medium. With the help of this boundary, cells are separated from each other, which means two different cells are separated by this boundary. It also protects the cell from injury. In addition, the plant cell and the bacterial cell have an outer wall surrounding the cell membrane. This wall is called cell wall. Why plants have cell wall and why not animal cell? Plants have cell wall because they are not having any skin, hair or clothes, but animals are having skin, hair to protect them from harsh temperature, high wind and stormy wind. The cell wall in plant cell provides protection against temperature variation, high wind, speed and atmospheric moisture. Second, cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a thick jelly-like fluid inside the cell bound by cell membrane. So all the liquid present in the cell is known as cytoplasm, but it is not present in nucleus because it occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. All the chemical reactions of cell occur in cytoplasm, which means all the chemical activities, metabolic activities are held in cytoplasm only. There are many small cytoplasmic bodies suspended in the cytoplasm, which is in more deep the cell have many cytoplasmic bodies, which are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum. These are known as cell organelles because organelles means part. Third, nucleus. It is the most important component of the living cell because nucleus is the brain of living cell. It gives all the instruction command for all activities. It's also help in cell division. Nucleus is a large and spherical structure present in all cells. After staining, it can be seen easily. In animal cells, nucleus lies at the center, but in plant cells, it is present at the periphery of the cell. They have a large vacuole, plant cells, but animal cells have small or no vacuole. The nucleus consists of following four parts. Nuclear membrane. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. Cell membrane. Cells are separated by each other by cell membrane, and nucleus is separated from cytoplasm by a membrane known as nuclear membrane. This also has the same functions: entry and exit of only selected substances. Then, nucleoplasm. The dense fluid present in nucleus is called nucleoplasm. Like cytoplasm, in nucleus there is also dense liquid known as nucleoplasm. Nucleolus. It is a small spherical body present inside the nucleus. It is rich in RNA, which means ribonucleic acid. There is a small spherical shaped ball-like structure known as nucleus inside the nucleus. This helps in cell divisions. Now, we will learn about chromosomes. Some fine thread-like structures composed of deoxyribonucleic acid, which is DNA, are suspended in the nucleoplasm. These are called chromatin fiber. So basically it is also known as chromatin network. In dividing nucleus, these chromatin fiber condense and form chromosome. So when the nucleus divides into two and gives two daughter cells, these chromatin fiber condense to form chromosomes. Chromosomes are basically genes. Genes are responsible for passing genetic characteristics from the parents to offspring. A child receives one copy of each gene from the mother and another copy of same gene from the father. For example, you have seen that the eyes of offspring is similar to eyes of the mother or father. This is because of genes carried by chromosomes. Functions of nucleus. The nucleus controls all metabolic activities of the cell. As I told you before, it is the brain of cell. As you can see, these are the diagram. This is the diagram of plant cell. So plant cell have the cell wall, this green like one. This is the cell wall and inside is the cell membrane. Now these are the chloroplast, mitochondria, and these small dots are ribosome. The main is nucleus. This is the nucleus, this is the nucleolus, and this is the chromatin network. Now in animal cell, the nucleus is at the center, and these are Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, and cytoplasm. That's it. So cell organelles, which means parts of cell. First, mitochondria. Mitochondria is okay? These are the small rod-like structures found in all cells that I show you before. They provide energy for all activities by oxidation of food, which is respiration. These are the powerhouses of cell as they provide power or energy to do all activities. Second, vacuoles. These are sac-like structures. As you can see in plant cell, there is a large vacuole. Plant cells have larger vacuole as compared to animal cell. Vacuoles store soluble food, waste, and secretion of cell dissolved in water as cell sap. So all the waste of cell is stored in this, and then it secretes all this in the form of blood. Endoplasmic reticulum. It is a network of tubules and channels and is involved in the synthesis, storage, and transport of cell products. As you can see in the diagram, there are purple tubes like things. These are the endoplasmic reticulum. They help in synthesis, storage, and transport of cell products. Ribosomes. These are small granular structures scattered in the cytoplasm. These are sites of protein synthesis. As you can see that small dots in cytoplasm, these are ribosomes. Golgi apparatus. These are made up of tubules and vesicles and is responsible for secretion of chemical substances. So it is responsible for secretion of chemical substances, which are enzymes, hormones, and protein. Plastid. These are present only in plant cell. Plastid contains certain pigments that have a specific role to play in functioning of plant cells. First, chloroplast. As you know that chloroplast is only chlorophyll which helps in photosynthesis. Chromoplast contain non-green pigment. Chloroplast contains green pigment. It does not contain. It gives color to flower and fruit. This is the function of chromoplast. Then leucoplast. Leucoplasts are colorless plastid which help in storage of food. Centrosome. Centrosome is located near the nucleus. It is involved in cell division and is found only in animal cell. So, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. On the basis of their nuclear organization, there are two types of cell. First, prokaryotic. Second, eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cell. First point. Pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus in Greek. The cells which do not have a well-organized nucleus due to absence of nuclear membrane are called prokaryotic cells. The organisms with this kind of cell are called prokaryotes. For example, bacteria and blue-green algae. This is the example of a bacteria which is a typical bacterium known as prokaryote. Eukaryotic cells. In Greek, eu means true, karyon means nucleus. Now, these cells have a well-organized nucleus with nuclear membrane. Okay? Some examples of eukaryotes are plant, animals, fungi, protozoa are eukaryotes. Cell division and growth. When a cell is formed, it is small, but gradually its growth in cell by cell division. During division, the nucleus of a cell splits first into two and then the cytoplasm divides into two separate parts across the middle. This process is called cell division. The new cells formed after cell division are called daughter cells. Cell division is responsible for growth of organisms. It also replaces the dead or damaged cell. So when the nucleus of a cell is dead or damaged, the cell becomes dead. Millions of cells die and are replaced every second in our body. Some unicellular organisms like bacteria and amoeba reproduce through cell division. This is the diagram of cell division. You can see there is a nucleus, then it splits into two, then the cytoplasm separates into two equal parts, and then there are two daughter cells. So guys, this is the short summary of the chapter. The chapter is finished and your homework is the whole back exercise. In my next video, I will tell the back exercise answers. Thank you.